Zach, how important was it mentally to overcome a lot of the things that went against you in the opening
Yeah.
5 6 minutes?
This team just kept finding a way, and I've got confidence in these players. They're going to step up. And, we really lost T in warmups. We lost TB on the second play of the game offensively. And guys just stepped up, knew what to do. There had to be a lot of modifications, but we settled in and found a way to move the ball, and that's really because our defense allowed us to. They gave us the time by limiting the points off the board, to let our offense find a way, to take that lead there. So really just good team effort of finding a way to win in December in a divisional game.
Did T get worse as the week went on? And then
No, T was good. He practiced every day, and then really pre warm ups, he felt it, and so he was questionable to play. He found his way in there a couple times, because there were some things that we were still going to utilize him to do, even though he did it, some short area stuff. But ultimately, we just kept him out and tried to get him ready. We didn't want that to turn into something worse to where he's going to miss more games. So we'll see where it's at as the week goes.
any update on Boyd?
I don't. He dislocated his finger, and that's all the information I have right now.
I guess so. T only played that first snap of the game. So I mean, what feedback did you get that after that first snap that
No, there was he. We didn't want him in the first snap of the game. He found his way onto the field. We had him dressed up in case we did some stuff, but T wanted to play. T did not want to be held out of the game. Just with the information I got in pregame, we did not want that to turn into something worse. So again, he wanted to play. I appreciate that. He found his way out there, the way that some guys do when they want to play their competitor. But ultimately, we didn't want him out there.
Kind of staying on that, you were saying you found a way, but for your offense and Joe Burrow and Jamar to execute it the way that you did, you lost two of your best players.
Yeah.
How much can you take from this? It feels like you guys just keep finding a way to win games. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much we're taking from it at this point. We're just going week to week in December and trying to find ways to win. And this team, obviously, we've played so many games at this point. We know that it can look any different way, and we just got confidence someone's going to step up and make plays. Today, we had plenty of guys around the team that did that. You look at defensively, the rushing totals they had in the second half. It's just Jesse Bates with the huge turnover. I thought Cam Taylor played really well. I thought all of our corners played really well. Eli Apple, Mike Hilton, Von Bell, all those guys. Really, our whole defense did a great job today.
Zach, the flea flicker, was that something you saw where they would fight hard on run plays and come downhill? Do you think you could get them on that? And was that the right spot to get them?
Yeah, I mean, you carry those because you think they're going to work, and they've done a great job. They're a fast defense. They come downhill. They're good against the run. They make you earn everything, and sometimes those plays pop up, and sometimes they work. Sometimes you run a reverse later in the game and they don't work. So it can be hit or miss. We understand that you're rolling the dice sometimes, but we felt good about the look we might get, and it worked out well.
Zach, are you willing to share where the play was going to go on the one that went to Jamar and he was looking downfield to throw and then?
Yeah, well, there was no throw involved there. That was reverse all the way. We had some mechanical issues even getting the play off the ground, and so it didn't work.
Feel-wise, when you called the flea flicker, when that possession was starting, did you think this might be a good time to take a shot?
Well, we have a grouping of plays going into a drive. Sometimes it's a feel thing as you get going, and you feel like you're gaining an advantage in a certain way. Sometimes you feel like you're running the ball well, and you can do some things play action-wise to complement it. That's basically a play action in a sense. But it worked out for us in that one.
Speaking of running the ball, nice to have Joe back. Joe makes it.
Yeah, it was good. I thought Joe, he had a heck of a run, really, that put us in a great position there. When he broke that tackle on the toss play, great job. So just that combination of him and Samaje obviously is going to be a great deal for us going forward.
Was there any major adjustment, when you had anything major you had to do in
Oh, yeah.
the series about those
Yeah,
guys?
yeah. Offensive staff meeting at 12 o'clock on the dot, because you went in the game with two tight ends. And so that affected some things you were going to do with multiple receivers. Then you lose two receivers right out the gate, and third down became a challenge. But I thought our coaching staff did a really good job. First and foremost, starting with Dan Pitcher and Brian Callahan of getting that third down right. Troy in the red zone, James and Justin being on alert with all the things that they had to deal with in that game as well. James had two tight ends up. So it was I just thought it was a really good team effort there, group effort by players and coaches to solve the problems.
At noon when you found out about T.
Right.
How do you, when you lose Tyler and you lose T and the attention those two draw, you lose them and all the attention that zeroes on Jamar, he still gets out here with 10 catches, 119
you got to have a smart player, first of all, because if he's able to handle, he really played all three positions, really. X, F, and Z. Maybe he wasn't always called that, but that's where we put him. He's got all sorts of motions. He's got a lot of things he's got to remember which side he's on, to remember what part of the concept he's involved in. But that allows us to just have so much freedom to move him around and find ways to get him the ball because of his understanding of what we're trying to accomplish and his communication with Joe.
Because of Tyler and T not being in the game, how much more did Jamar's performance impress you today?
I'm always impressed by what Jamar's able to do with the ball in his hands, and if you can just find a way to get him the ball, he's usually going to be productive, and that's what he was today.
Is there any significance on beating a team that's gotten the best of you the last 5 meetings?
No, we really just look at the next week and don't focus so much on behind. Obviously, we looked at that game and the reasons why it didn't go well for us. So we're fully aware of the style of game you got to play. It's a really good football team. They are. And, so that was a really good win for us today. Again, it wasn't always pretty, but we'll take it, and I'm really happy with how our players overcame some adversity.
I know the touchdown or the first down last week, the game clincher, that T was great for
Yeah.
Burrow. But the touchdown today, that window looked like it might have been tight to Jamar.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get for just repping plays over and over and over and over and over, and we've thrown touchdowns on that play before. T's caught some on a similar route. And that's just timing and rhythm from the quarterback and the receiver being where he's supposed to be. And you feel the safety just give you enough right before the snap, and you know where the ball's going. And he put in a great place, and Jamar made a great play there. So, but again, that's the red zone. That's a play we've worked for, since training camp. It doesn't always get called, but you still invest the reps in it every Friday. And so then when that moment comes in a big game like this, those guys are ready to make that play.
Zach, what can you say about your defense? Nick Chubb, 14 carries, 34 yards. Just
Yeah.
bottom them up today.
It was awesome. And I think more importantly in the second half, it was maybe 6 yards is the information I had. And that's entire team defense. I could go one by one and praise those guys up front and then second level and then the defenders, but and it's a great plan by Lou and the whole defensive staff. So really, really proud of the defense today. Again, they gave us our best chance to win it, and then the offense found a way to overcome that adversity and score some points, but it really started with our defense today.
On that note, just how impressive you've been with DJ Reader,
Yeah.
swatting more passes, and even Sam Hubbard's ascension with how he's played this year.
Yeah, you got to praise all those guys. DJ definitely stands out. He gets his hands on balls and eliminates downs. He's great in run defense. He and BJ complement each other well. Those guys on the edge. I just thought our whole defense played great.
And just real quick again, just because there's a lot of conversation about it, why not rule whenever you run to 12, that his hamstring might be an issue, why not rule him out with that hour until kickoff instead of resting him and seeing how he feels with him only playing with that one snap?
We already had 5 inactives. And, again, we didn't want him to open up and run. That doesn't mean he couldn't run a goal line fade on the 1 yard line. So there was no sense in ruling him out. I didn't see any reason to do that. He obviously felt he could play. There were some plays we still had highlighted for him. I was hoping that the game would go in our favor to where we would not need to use that. That was really my hope as the ball was being kicked off, that we could get a lead and not feel the need to put him in there to do some of the low red zone stuff we were going to have him do. So, again, he felt good. He felt good enough to play, I should say, and so that's the position we were in.
So after that, you had the new meeting with Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah, we didn't have time to meet on that one.
I know, but did that kind of ruin a lot of what you had planned?
Yeah, it caused
How much was that
no, it did. It was a constant conversation for 4 quarters of how that affects the game plan. And again, that's why you got great coaches on staff. And I've got to focus on the game. I got to focus on calling plays, and guys are feeding me calls as we get into different situations based on their problem solving that's taking place behind the scenes. And so again, hats off to I speak a lot about the offensive staff, because they did a great job on that stuff today. But defensively, our coaching staff, you look at starting with Lou Anarumo and Marion Hobby and James Betcher and Rob Livingston and Chuck Burks and Jordan Kovacs and Louis Chofie and Mark Duffner. Like they got these guys ready to play on defense, and these guys played lights out and gave us a great chance to win the game. And really, really proud of the staff and the players for stepping up and doing that.